that baby just glided right out. What is up? It is Tuesday, so we are actually in our synthesis week. After our exam, we kind of put together an entire week dedicated to the overall themes. Yesterday, we had a core case along with just an overview of health illness. We went more into cultural competency and structural inequalities. Today we had our specialized patients in a group in either triads or quads. This was kind of like our patient encounter about 2 weeks ago. In that patient encounter, my patient had actually said a comment. He mentioned something about his father actually passing away. I was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That must have been tough. But he called me out at the end during our debrief. I thought that I was showing empathy by saying an affirmation like, I'm sorry to hear that. But what the patient really wanted was not only for me to make that empathetic comment, but it was an opportunity to ask, like, how long ago did your father pass, in order to see the current state and like feelings and how that emotion, especially thinking about it in the current clinical setting, how that emotion could go into like how he is right now. I really took that to heart. I find it so difficult to not only make sure that everything is being sorted and all my questions are being answered with the clinical, and also making sure that the person feels supported and comforted and as if they can tell me anything, but also showing enough empathy in which I don't deviate from the conversation. So being able to share that emotion and getting the concise materials that I need, that's something that's very important in healthcare in general. The last patient, when he was like, yeah, you didn't ask me about my dad, and I was like, oh wow, your dad passed away. Sorry to hear that. Got it. Moving on. I didn't dwell in that current feelings. So I definitely took that to heart last time. And with this standardized patient, I really tried to not only get to know my patient's life a bit more, but even give them those positive affirmations that they needed, making sure to elicit appropriate responses with everything that they told me. At the end, when we have our patient debrief, my peers, they were like, you did great. That was a talking point from our patient. That is the cream of the crop. That is what I want to go to med school for. That's what I want to become a doctor for. And I'm glad that not only did our patient feel it, but my 2 colleagues felt it as well. Feeling pretty great about that. Just finished my first labor and delivery shadow shift. 5 hours, got to see delivery. It was amazing. And yeah, learned a lot. And we are back in the apartment. That was a great shift. Got to see a delivery of a newborn and it went so smoothly. I was a little surprised. I got into medicine from the labor and delivery of my little brother. It didn't go the smoothest. Like, he didn't cry automatically or straight off the back, and they really had to like suction him a lot. It was just like a real tough labor, which she says that's kind of how it was for all of us. And then going into my master's thesis and being around the L&D department that way, this patient today, it seemed like that baby just glided right out. As soon as like they caught the baby, flipped him over, started crying, and I was like, that's great. I'm so not used to that. I was like, is that how it's supposed to go? Is that how a normal, like, great birth is supposed to go? Especially as an M1. Like, I don't know the clinical amount of it, so I'm really just going based off of the feel, off of the interactions and like the balance of the residents and the doctors. I'd love to see how it is with an OB-GYN that has their own like private practice. Being in the hospital, it felt like if I was the patient, there's no continuity of care. Nurses are constantly like rotating every shift, so are residents, and sometimes the doctors aren't always there. Like, they check on their patients in the mornings or in the evenings, and that's kind of it. As a patient, I would be kind of unsure who is going to deliver or who's going to help me out. Yes, I like the excitement of the labor and delivery process. After that, what really happens, like I'd love to be there from the moment you find out you're pregnant all the way full term the baby gets delivered. Like that's the goal that I have. More often than not, I've seen it where the immediate OB-GYN isn't the doctor that is delivering the baby. And even in that delivery today, I found myself, after the baby was born, I found myself gravitating and wanting to see more of what is happening to the baby rather than the mom. The people immediately dealing with the mother baby, both coming to the delivery and immediately after the delivery, are the nurses. That's why we need them, and they're great. But I'd love to see exactly how the OBs and the pediatricians really fit into that care team. Going forward, I kind of want to dive deeper into that, especially the private practice OBs. Really, I'd love to touch base with like a pediatrician and see at what point do they go down and do like the wellness baby check and everything like that. So yeah, it's a great Saturday so far. On the plus side that I forgot to tell you guys, the YouTube channel is live with the first videos. I have made Sundays my upload days. That way I can edit in the mornings and then upload during meal prep. Shoot me a comment down below of what kind of content you guys want to see. I'm hoping on doing some like get ready with me's, get to know me, some Q&As. Let me know. Do you guys want to do the grocery hauls? You want to go grocery shopping with me? Let me know what kind of content you guys want to see.